after back-to-back nights at Madison Square Garden in the last week, taking the hype for the Royal Rumble match to the next level with one of the most stacked pay-per-view cards in Rumble history and massive star power for the match itself, with Austin, Hunter, Angle and Taker all positioned as realistic winners in the match, along with a major returning name in Curt Hennig set to make his first WWF appearance in almost 6 years. The WWF 6 days from the pay-per-view was coming from another major market with a sold-out crowd of over 16,000 people in the first televised event from the new American Airlines Arena in Dallas, Texas, after debuting in the building shortly after it opened with a Rock vs. Austin main event last October, as Ric Flair walked out first to a big ovation talking about the history of the business in the Dallas market before getting the hype going, calling out Vince McMahon. With the Rumble pay-per-view outside of Rock vs. Jericho for the title and the loaded Rumble match, set to see another massive attraction with the first ever Flair vs. McMahon match in Flair's first match back in almost a year, with the 22-minute opening segment seeing Jericho coming out to hype his match with Rock on Sunday, followed by Vince running in to lay out Flair for the second week in a row. And with the plan to split the brands, each headed by Flair and McMahon, delayed from the original targeted date of last Monday to after the Rumble pay-per-view, all plans for a split are now pushed back until after WrestleMania, with the entire focus of the company shifted to perhaps the biggest angle of the year, as after countless rumors and talks between all three individuals and the company for months, the bomb that can potentially change the entire landscape of the business was dropped during the week, with the news of Hogan, Hall and Nash all now being in the final stages of negotiations to come in together as the nWo, as after it looked like Nash was on the verge of debuting alone soon after reaching an agreement with the company a day after his Time Warner contract expired on January 2nd. Vince McMahon instead decided to go all in to also accelerate negotiations with Hall and Hogan and bring all three together for Maximum Impact to debut under the three letters that revolutionized the industry forever, set to be acknowledged for the first time on WWF TV in an unimaginable scenario just 11 months ago, immediately starting the buzz in every department in the company from the office to the locker room due to Hall, Nash and Hogan's star power set to come in for the top spots and reputation for political maneuvering behind the scenes, with Jim Ross attempting to calm things down after the initial explosion of reactions from fans to the talent roster, saying that the WWF locker room is completely different to the WCW environment that didn't have the same structure and leadership, pointing out Undertaker, Rock, Austin, Angle and Hunter as the locker room leaders, while noting that he hopes that anyone who comes in would take an example and be a team player. With the nWo buzz not acknowledged on TV, with the deals for all three still not official, the WWF continued with the big Rumble hype, with the pay-per-view on Sunday set to be the fourth WWF pay-per-view in a row to not be available through the DirecTV system, and a potential major revenue loss for both companies, with the show targeted to surpass the 600,000 buys mark, as outside of advertising the return of Curt Hennig, who still works as one of the top performers in the World Wrestling All-Stars promotion, promoting the TV returns of Val Venis' Godfather and Goldust to be part of the 30-man match, with the company playing off the rumors on its website, running a poll on who was not added to the Rumble match on SmackDown last Thursday, with Diesel as the correct answer in the poll, as Raw's first hour picked up viewers throughout after the lengthy opening segment, seeing two matches in the hour combined going 5 minutes, with Bubba vs. Spike and a Billy and Chuck push continuing, going over with Ajiri and Hurricane in another tag match. Raw closed out the first hour with a Kurt Angle promo hyping his match with Kane coming next, followed by a Stephanie Debra backstage confrontation hyping the eventual Austin vs. Triple H clash, with Raw's first hour after the mega hype for the show last Monday, able to maintain the majority of the audience between 9 to 10 p.m., only slightly dropping from 6.3 to 6.1 million viewers, with the positive viewing pattern ending shortly after with the top-of-the-hour quarter featuring Kurt Angle vs. Kane in a match between two of the other big-name players in the Loaded Rumble match, going 10 minutes with Angle going over to peak the night with a 4.8 rating, with the show from there in an unusual pattern not helped by the formatting not promoting a clear main event match or segment for near 11 p.m., sliding throughout the second hour and not getting back to the over 6.7 million viewers watching the Angle vs. Kane match, leading to another rare situation where Raw's first hour was more watched than the second by an over 200,000 viewers margin. With him set for his first shot at the undisputed title on the Rumble pay-per-view Sunday, Rock was off the show tonight with him set for a chaotic schedule in the next month, having to shoot additional scenes for the Scorpion King movie before its April release date, with the post-production decision of the studio set to see Rock flying back and forth between the movie set to the WWF TV tapings all over the country with barely any time at home, as JR confirmed that Rock, due to the heavy road schedule, is not set for any non-televised events in the next month, but with him expected to work the majority of the Raw and SmackDown shows with the company in the middle of the highest profile time of the year, and Rock targeted as the centerpiece for the headline storyline heading into WrestleMania 18. And while missing the final Raw build-up to the Rumble, Rock is set to return tomorrow for the SmackDown taping in Bossier City for the final sell for the Rock vs. Jericho title match, and with the heavily hyped Triple H return last Monday leading to numbers comparisons to the recent Rock return in July, as Hunter, while spiking numbers to a 5-month high, not approaching the record-level viewership Rock drew in his return. SmackDown on Thursday for the first show after the Hunter comeback saw the show increasing 400,000 viewers from the previous week, but overall staying at around its recent average with a 4 rating and 6.8 million viewers, with Triple H not carrying over the increased interest from the one-night boost on Raw, in contrast to Rock's first SmackDown appearance spiking to near record levels with over 7.7 million viewers, with the show last Thursday headlined by Austin vs. Angle, with Hunter not appearing until the final 2 minutes of the show, seeing the most watched segment of the night being Rock's tag match midway through the broadcast teaming with Van Dam against Test and Jericho to peak at over 7.5 million viewers, with Raw next seeing Steve Austin going 6 minutes in a backstage promo talking about his preparation for Sunday while hyping the Rumble match and his upcoming confrontation with Triple H, with them being positioned as the two favorites to either win or eliminate each other from the match, with Raw's final quarter opening with the Jericho, Christian and Storm vs. Rikishi and APA 6-man tag match to place the Triple H promo in the main event overrun spot for the second week in a row. After being interrupted by Kurt Angle last Monday and not having any promo time on SmackDown, Triple H was set to address the crowd for the first time since coming back, with him making his entrance 3 minutes from the top of the hour in the Raw final selling segment for the Rumble match, talking about the massive ovation he got from the New York crowd at the Garden last Monday, saying that they showed him respect whether they liked him or not, with his status still not clear, after being now positioned against the babyface Austin and still aligned with Stephanie, leading to him, unlike last week, getting a mixed reaction from the Dallas crowd, with Hunter responding to JR saying that his comeback was complete with his return last Monday, telling him that it would only be complete when he wins the Rumble and then the title at WrestleMania, bringing out Austin for the response in their first interaction since both were teaming up against Jericho and Benoit last May, with both now on the babyface side. setting up a brawl ending with Taker taking both out to close the show 7 minutes into the overrun, with Raw while seeing a major drop of over a million viewers in the second hour to result in it dropping to a 4.4 rating overall, closing the Rumble build-up with strong hype with the massive Star Power Rumble matching the loaded card in general targeted to be one of the biggest pay-per-views in company history.